You have tuned into the BearDown Corner with your host, Sergeant Julio. Hey everybody, this is the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Julio. NFL preseason action, week 1. Basically in the wraps. It's just nice to have football back. Honestly, we're not going to get too much into like preseason scores and all that. It's preseason. But what we will do is get you caught up on the highlighted, what I feel is the more mentioned names out in the NFL world. So first, we're going to start with what I hope to introduce as maybe a continue thing for any and all those that watch. And it's going to be called the Tidbit Corner. And in the Tidbit Corner, you reach out to myself, Sergeant Julio, and we will present that week's feature of that story from that person. And this week, you know what? We're going to start with our good buddy Mark. And that is breaking news. Quarterback Marcus Mariota has been swiped out as he is missing the remainder of the preseason. Now, the thing that worries me with this is it's a sprained MCL. So that's a ticking time clock. Yes, he's a backup quarterback. He has lots of time to sit and to rest and hopefully be there if needed and called upon, because let's be honest, he played more than half the season last year because Jaden Daniels took too many goddamn hits. But anyway, Marcus Mariota out the rest of the preseason dealing with a sprained MCL. Now, continuing in the way of injuries, we have Bears running back Kyle Monangai. And honestly, yeah, he's a well-known name when you rush for over 750 yards as a backup running back rookie. So, anyway, he's expected to miss multiple weeks with a hyperextended knee. That does not sound good as a running back. But honestly, he's a tough little giddy. He's going to be just fine. He just needs to take some time to rest. Von Miller shocked myself, honestly, because I didn't think he was going to here, but decided to sign a 1-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys worth upwards of $7.5 million. That honestly is a really smart and intelligent signing by Jerry Jones. Let's tell you why. Let's break it down just a bit. You have a defense that was trying to put up numbers in comparison to the offense, but just defensively, right? But instead they ranked in like the bottom, basically 30 to start last year. And then they flipped the page. They traded for Quinnen Williams. They, rotated some guys out in the offseason. They basically revamped. They picked up Rashawn Gary in a trade. Kenny, who they picked up from the Micah Parsons trade. They picked him up. Kenny Clark. Honestly, it's a revamped offensive or defensive line. And that's not to mention the other pass rushers that they brought in free agency, via draft. But a veteran presence of a former Super Bowl MVP in Von Miller, I think, is huge for this defense. More so because of the things he brings outside of just the game, right? Outside of the numbers, the accolades. It's that football IQ. If you put as many guys with that kind of IQ on the field, or at least a few, and they can, in this case, he's going to make sure the defensive line rotation and pass rush is just up to par. But basically what I'm trying to say is don't sleep on the Cowboys this year. There could be very good things on the horizon for them. And to continue in the wake of injuries, we also... Actually, no, you know what? Let's tell you the other signing that we came across. And this one, I didn't think he would go here either. And that was Keenan Allen. Went to the Indianapolis Colts on a 1-year deal worth upwards of $8 million plus. Now, the reason I say this is because last year when he was mulling over do I retire? Do I fucking go back to Chicago? Do I maybe go back to LA, right, with the Chargers? So he did go back to LA last year. And he's been kind of waiting to see what the Chargers are going to do and if he's going to go back there. But in the meantime, well, the Colts, they had a need at wide receiver. You have current anointed number one, Alex Pierce, out with injury currently right now. He's rehabbing some leg injury. You have Josh Downs thrusted into the starting role because they traded Michael Pittman in the offseason, right? So, yeah, you needed to restock right away in a insert play me now kind of player. Honestly, I like the signing. Nothing wrong with it. The veteran leadership Keenan Allen alone is going to help that wide receiver room calm, settle, and be more of a threat, I feel. Moving along, you got a Vikings linebacker / former safety. He switched from safety to linebacker last season, but now heading into his 10th year, Jamal Adams tore his quad tendons in the New York Giants game this past week. He's out for the year. He's done. He's gone, so he's finished. He ain't fucking coming back. So probably going to be IR'd, and in that same output, maybe he comes back. Maybe he just says, piss on it. I did 10 years, you know. We'll see what happens. But one more piece of news for today, and that is the Aaron Donald tracker. And that is quite simply this. This past week, Aaron Donald completed his second team workout with the Los Angeles Rams. So what this means is, in the longevity of it all, and in a slow pace, but enough of a pace that the NFL is basically, I'm pretty sure what's happening is the Rams and the Donald are taking the approach where they're going to do everything they need to, but they're not going to, speed up the process, right? They're going to get what they need done when they need to do it, and that's just what it's going to be. You can't rush this process. Aaron Donald's 2 years removed from retirement. You can't rush a former 3-time defensive player of the year and former Super Bowl champion and him. So, long story short, let's just say the tracker's looking upwards of him returning to the Los Angeles Rams. And if that happens, by God, help us all with Myles Garrett on that line. And let's not forget, they have some defensive line pieces already in place before they went and traded Jared Verse for the Myles Garrett. If you're talking about starters, they swapped a starter for a better player in a context, right? Or at least how they viewed it. Which, let's be honest, it's Myles Garrett. The man's a fucking super nature freak. But you know what? That's it. That's all. This has been the BearDown Corner. Maybe Aaron Donald's coming back next week. Maybe the week after. But you'll have to tune in to find out. You can catch us live every Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock General Mountain, 8 o'clock Eastern on Spotify and, of course, YouTube, anywhere else you get your podcasts. Be safe, take care, and we'll catch you here next week on the BearDown Corner.